Let's examine quickly Jesus' teaching from the beginning. Jesus is teaching from the beginning. Now, when Jesus responded to the accusing Pharisees about marriage, he points their attention away from marriage to the very reason for which it was written. In other words, marriage in Genesis chapter 2 was a parable. Marriage in Genesis chapter 2 was a parable. Look at Matthew chapter 19, verse number 3. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? Next verse. And he answered and said unto them, have you not read under ginosko? Have you not read, that is, have you not carefully read, that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? Next verse. And he said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. And they twain shall be one flesh. So Jesus quoted from the book of Genesis, and particularly the first 3 chapters of the book of Genesis. Observe Jesus' words. What therefore God has joined together, let no man put asunder. This statement is a summary, not a direct quote from Genesis. It's a summary. All right. Jesus was explaining the very reason for the parable in Genesis chapter 2. Please pay attention. That what God has joined together is not a particular man and woman, but marriage. The word marriage was used 3 times in the epistles. From the Greek word quamos, Q-A-M-O-S, a noun. And the verb of the word quamos is Q-A-M-E-O. In the Greek, it means to be with another. Marriage. To be with another, or to be joined to another. The word quamos was used in Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. You will see the use of that word again in Revelation chapter 19 verse 7. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him. For the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife had made herself ready. Marriage. Revelation chapter 19 verse 9. And he said unto me, write, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he saith unto me, these are the true sayings of God. The quotation then, or the question then is, what marriage is being referred to in this context? Brother Paul will explain what marriage he was talking about in his letter to Ephesus, Ephesians chapter 5 verse 23 to 25. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church and is the savior of the body. Next verse. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so are the wives, or so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Next verse. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Particular attention should be paid to Paul's use of physical marriage as a mirror. The physical marriage was designed to be a mirror to Christ and the church. Because if you look at Ephesians chapter 5 verse 32, it will come handy now. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. I speak concerning Christ and the church. So in other words, Genesis chapter 2 verse 24 refers to the inseparable marriage of Christ and the church. The inseparable marriage of Christ and the church. Natural marriage is only used as a mirror of that. That is what is available in Genesis. So this explains Jesus' use of the term, from the beginning it was not so. From the beginning it was not so. God's marriage is an inseparable union. But look at Matthew 19 verse 7. They say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? Next verse. He saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning, it was not so. Meaning that whatever Moses commanded them to do, apart from what was from the beginning, was not in the beginning. Moses allowed them because of the hardness of their hearts. For this reason, what they did not believe is in God's faithfulness. So since they didn't believe in God's faithfulness, Moses permitted them to put away their wives, which is not a reflection of what was in the beginning, which is God's union with the church, which is inseparable. For them to believe, there must have been a message preached, which they did not believe. So Moses in his writings presents the gospel through the life of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If Moses wrote to them to put away their wives, it was because of unbelief. Unbelief in the gospel. Moses therefore must have preached the gospel to them. There is the term we've been dealing with, which is wrath of God. The wrath of God. Because sometimes when somebody is going through trying times, they will say maybe he has done something wrong, God is punishing him. Even some Christians who go to churches have issues with that. In their heart, there is an unsettlement about God's character. Even though they have a form of religiosity that makes them act like Christians, but in their heart, in the inner recess of their hearts, they are questioning the character of God. And I've told you the reason is because they have not submitted themselves to sound Bible teaching. So let's observe the way the wrath of God is used in the following scriptures. Exodus 32:11. Stay with me. And Moses besought the Lord his God and said, Lord, why doth thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Deuteronomy 9:7. Remember and forget not how thou provokest the Lord thy God to wrath in the wilderness, from the day that thou didst depart out of the land of Egypt until you came unto this place. You have been rebellious against the Lord. Please be taking note of the word wrath and the things that they explained came as a result of that. Ezra chapter 8 verse 22. For I was ashamed to require of the king a band of soldiers and horsemen to help us against the enemy in the way, because we have spoken unto the king, saying, the hand of our God is upon all them for good that seek him, but his power and his wrath is against all them that forsake him. So they give an impression that if you forsake God, his anger will be against you and he will look for a way to deal with you. So all of these are impressions you will find in the Old Testament concerning God. Ezra chapter 10 verse 14. Let now our rulers of all the congregation stand, and let all them which have taken strange wives in our cities come out at appointed times, and with them the elders of every city, and the judges thereof, until the fierce wrath of our God for this matter be turned from us. So the impression they give here is that because people were marrying many wives, God became angry with the land. And so God now allowed disasters to come upon the land. And now they're asking the people that married many wives to come out, so that the anger of God will be turned away from them. All of these are assumptions and impressions. Again, don't forget, we have explained in the course of this service that there was a hidden personality in the Old Testament who was behind sickness, disease, and disasters, hiding that they didn't know. That upon the arrival of Jesus in the incarnation, exposed him as the devil. Remember that. Jesus exposed the person as the devil. Now look at Psalm 78:31. The wrath of God came upon them and slew the fattest of them, and smote down the chosen men of Israel. The wrath of God. The word wrath was also used in the New Testament. Look at the way it will be used in the New Testament. John 3:36. He that believeth on the Son hath everlasting life, and he that believeth not the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of God abideth on him.